Hey everyone, this is Beth Barling, and this is some ritual ideas to do with Freya. So we're honoring the goddess Freya this month, and one of the most important aspects of the goddess Freya for me is self-love. So there's a couple of different ways this shows up in my bathroom routine, which is why we're in my bathroom. So ritual doesn't have to be always high ceremonial magic. Ritual is the things that we do every single day. And when we talk, for me, when I talk about ritual, honoring gods and goddesses, honoring divine white light, honoring myself, I come into those rituals just with more intention. I come into them, so I ground into that space and I fully embody the message and the work that I'm trying to get across in whatever ritual I'm doing. So a ritual could be brushing your teeth. We go into the bathroom in the morning, perhaps we brush our teeth mindlessly. When we want to expand on our ritual experience, we treat these rituals that we do as sacred. Anything we come into with the intention of staying present and in the moment and treating treating these ritual things that we do as sacred, they become more meaningful. The work that they're bringing into our lives becomes, expands, and we manifest more. So with brushing our teeth, maybe we call in divine white light to make sure that, and this is obviously just an example of a ritual that we all do, but maybe, if we're having pain in our mouth, maybe as we're brushing our teeth, we do it mindfully, we do it slow, and we consciously call in divine support to support, and call in our higher selves to really bless the activity that we're doing and expand on the virtues and benefits of that. So back to Freya. So Freya is the goddess of self-love. She is the goddess of so many things. She's a warrior goddess. And one of the things, so if we take the self-love and warrior aspect, one of my favorite rituals to do with Freya is to tell myself how much I love myself every day. So there's a couple of different ways to do that. But before we get started, I just want to take a moment and calling in concentric circles of light around myself and around this container, everybody in this community, anybody who's watching this in the infinite now. Protecting us, shining divine white source light throughout this entire circle. Lifting our voices up. Inviting in our higher selves to be part of this and to guide us if this is right for us or how to facilitate this in a way that speaks to our own resonance and truth. And I want to invite in the goddess Freya. Sweet Freya of the Vanir, sweet goddess of love, warrior goddess, goddess of sensuality, goddess of sexuality, goddess of divine love. One of the most beautiful parts about Freya, and the reason she teaches us about self-love, is that she already loves you, adores you exactly as you are. She sees within you what is perfect, divine, and beautiful already. And just allowing the presence of that energy, of that ascended master, of that divine fractal, the sweet goddess, Freya, to come into our space. Thank you. So, this is one of my favorite practices with Freya, and this is something you can do every single morning. This is something you can do as a ritual on the weekends if you're busy, but I invite you to really fill into if this is for you and if this is something you can do regularly. So one of the things I really love to do when I take a shower, after I get out of the tub, and I have my towel on, I come into the mirror and my mirror's right there. I come into the mirror and I can see my naked body. And a lot of times, for me, and a lot of times within community that I find, people see things that they don't like about their bodies. People look in the mirrors regularly, and we're always trying to sort of identify, what's wrong with our body? What do we need to work on in our body? So what Freya invites you to do, and what this ritual invites you to do, is to stand in the mirror and find out what you love about your body. So I invite you to come into a mirror space, make sure you can see your whole body. And of course, this is something you can do, now, or you can do this when you get out of the shower, but now to practice is great. And honestly, we're already in sacred space. So coming into this mirror space, I usually do this completely naked, and for many, many reasons. I'm gonna do this one fully dressed with you, but coming into the mirror completely naked, and you can pause if you'd like, if you really want to experience this. And I want you to scan your body, starting from the top all the way down, looking at every inch of your body. So maybe there's for me, the first thing I see that's wrong with my body is maybe there's a little pudge in my belly. And I want you to just scan that body, scan all those parts of you. And I want you to take some time to find the pieces of you that are really beautiful. What is your favorite part of your body? Maybe it's the way your clavicle sits. Maybe it's your shoulders. Maybe it's your chest. Maybe it's your arms. Any part of your body that you love. And feeling the goddess Freya in your energy, feeling her gazing at those parts that you love, and feeling her loving them as well. And saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. Or you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I invite you to expand on that as you need to. And now I want you to go back to that body scan, and I want you to find the parts of you that you are relatively neutral about. And finding those parts of you that you do not like at all. And just gazing down at those parts and just remembering, there's a lot of conditioning and programming to compete with outside influences, what other bodies look like, what society has determined is beautiful, what society has determined you should look like, what your BMI should be, what your arms should look like, what size you should fit into, blah, 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 blah. And remembering that during the Renaissance, this was a completely different thing based on the paintings that we see. So really honoring how there's no external obtainable goal. It's always fluctuating. It's always out of reach. Do you know why? Because you are already perfect, exactly as you are. So I invite you, knowing that and embodying that, this is what we're doing here. We're pulling, this ritual is about, knowing what we know, because we're stepping into this with the intention that we are perfect and divine, exactly as we are. And we can say it out loud. I am perfectly divine, exactly as I am in this very present moment. Dear God, thank you so much for this beautiful existence. Thank you for my beautiful body. Thank you for my beautiful, healthy body. Thank you for the challenges my body presents. This is all, thank you for all these tools for my ascension work. We can know this and say this. But when we step into the mirror, and if we see something that makes our tummy hurt, or makes us feel jealous, or makes us feel sad and disappointed in ourselves, those are the places that we want to stand naked in front of Freya and allow her incredibly divine, loving gaze to wash over you. And feel all that incredible love that she has for you. Feel how she looks at those little pockets that may bother you. Feel how she touches them and loves them and just thinks that you are incredibly perfect exactly as you are. She has never seen anyone like you. She has never seen any embodiment like you. She can see that perfect divine light pouring through every cell, mitochondria, DNA, every beautiful part of your physical body. And feel how powerful her love is. And I invite you to gaze at those parts in the mirror and tell those parts, I love you, I love you, I love you. You are so beautiful. You are so beautiful. You are so beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And gaze at those parts. Look at those parts that caught your eye and maybe made your tummy hurt or some kind of physical response in your body. Step directly into those places and send it love, thanking it, gratitude. Over and over and over again until you fall in love with yourself, truly fall in love with yourself, body, mind, and spirit, the same way Freya loves you already. The same way that your higher self loves you already. The same way that the divine loves you already. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And it may feel repetitive and irritating, but that's okay because the resistance to self-love is so incredibly real in this and for whatever reason, and that's part of the work. So say it over and over and over again. And if you need to stay here, I invite you to pause and stay here as long as you need to. And this is a ritual you can do very simply. Getting out of the tub, getting out of the shower, gazing at your naked body, and maybe just saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you. And when you see yourself pass a mirror and you go, oh, my hair looks like shit, or oh, like if these things happen to you, if they don't happen to you, just say, I love you, I love you, I love you every time you see yourself. But if you find yourself embodying, because I sure do, these are things that I experience, and I'm not putting that on anybody, but this is an enormous practice for me. So if this comes up for you in any way, shape, or form, I invite you to gaze at those spaces and say, I love you, I love you, I love you, you're so beautiful, you're so beautiful, you're so beautiful, because you are. And you're so worthy of love, and you're so worthy of feeling like your own divine, beautiful perfection at all times. And allow Freya to be the ascended master who holds your hand through this practice. She can't do it for you, but she can go into those depths with you. So, as with all rituals, you can make this a big, grand, high ceremonial thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't hate that. I think that's beautiful if that's what you want to do and if self-love is part of your intentional journey this year. But I invite you, when you look in the mirror and you see yourself, even if it's just passing by, no matter where you are, send yourself love. And as, with all rituals, what we're doing is we're creating patterns and we're cultivating new ways of stepping into life. So the more we tell ourselves we love ourselves, the more we do love ourselves. And that is, boy, isn't that a big part of the journey, to fall in love with ourselves, because we can only give the world what we have already given here. And you are so worthy of love and so worthy of feeling good. So I want to thank you for joining me for this ritual. I want to thank beautiful Freya for always coming through and always guiding me with the right words and feelings and inviting me to step into my own divine beauty. I want to thank Source, and namaste, everyone. Thank you.